Welcome. This is a presentation of the music department at South Eastern Regional College, and I'm calling here from Bangor. My name is Saul Rayson. I'm the Level 2 coordinator for the Extended Certificate in Music Industry Skills, but I teach pretty much across all of the music disciplines, from music performance, for music production and technology, right the way up to the HND. So we're going to cover a few subjects here, and you can see in front of you, this is basically a space for you to discover more about these different subjects and how they relate to each other. So we're going to start by looking at the Level 3 National Diploma in Music, which is a performance-based 2-year unit, and then the Level 3 National Diploma, Extended Diploma in Music Production, which is the Music Technology 2-year program. And then the one I look after, which is a Level 1, Level 2 Extended Certificate in Music Industry Skills, which is our 1-year introductory program. I'll also connect into the HND and how these three subjects, or these three areas connect, and how they can progress into industry and into each other, and ultimately HND or a degree program. And then we'll have a session at the end for questions and answers. So these are the full-time members. Well, actually, 3 of them are the full-time members of the team, and we have 1 part-time member here. So Matt Dowie is a well-known guitarist from Belfast, who studied with us many moons ago, completed right the way through to the HND, as well as studying at Queen's, and he studied at Music College down in Dublin as well, I believe, studied jazz down there. Phil Parker, who's our full-timer coordinator of the Level 3 program. He's a guitarist as well. Then we have myself, Saul Rayson. I studied at Queen's, as well as having industry experience going back far longer than I'd like to remember. So I'm a drummer as well as a producer, and make music for all sorts of environments and uses. And then we have Gary Haddock, who's our full-time HND coordinator, who's hugely experienced bass player, playing across various genres and styles, and in various studio and live environments. So between us, there are other members of staff. There's Brian Robinson, who looks after the part-time. Sorry, he's a part-time member of staff who looks after the full-time music production Level 3. We have other people, who Andy Lavery, who looks after the Level 2 in Lisbon, etc., and various other part-time members of staff attached as well. So moving on. So the BTEC Level 3 National, the BTEC Level 3 National Extended Diploma in Music, it runs in Bangor and at the Lisbon campus. Actually, we have a new member of staff there, which is Peter Vey, who looks after the Lisbon campus for us as well. The Extended Diploma is a 2-year course. And over the 2 years of study, the new specs actually have 4 main subject areas, which all interlink. All of our courses really are very, very practical based. So there is a lot of focus on performance and how you would work in musical groups, whether that be a jazz group, or whether that be a rock band, whether that be working on original material, or whether that be working on covers and working in cover bands, or whether it be even more traditional in a traditional music sense, or a classical sense. You know, there are similarities between all these musical areas of how we communicate to each other, and how we work together as performers. So this covers the performance, the solo projects and the group projects. They all kind of tie in together about how we present ourselves on stage, and how we work also in the studio, in the recording of audio and of musical compositions. The writing of the songs and the writing of musical compositions, again, could be on a pop rock idea or a jazz idea, or leading to more experimental music, maybe even working onto some electronic side, because there is also some music sequencing, as you can see at the bottom, and use of technology. Composition also could be covering some more classical approaches, and also the use of composition, whether that be for film, whether that be for TV or games or mobile phones or apps. Music is literally everywhere nowadays. You can't get away from it. And although the music industry in its traditional sense has changed dramatically, there is still a huge amount of employment to be had from all these other strands of the industry, which you cover in music industry. Music industry also looks at how you develop your own entrepreneurial approach to the music industry. As with most creative businesses, there isn't a company that you necessarily go to and they'll employ you directly. It's very much for the individual to develop and to work in an entrepreneurial style on their musical exploits, and that's again covered very much in the music industry aspect of this course. Music theory runs as a core right the way across everything. Understanding, a practical understanding of music theory is really what we try and give to the students here, of being able to work with other people. It's a tool. Music theory is a tool to be able to work with other musicians from different backgrounds. With a good sense of music theory, you can then communicate with other musicians from classical backgrounds, from jazz backgrounds, and hopefully from pop rock backgrounds as well. So again, it's a bedrock of a lot of what we do. As I've already pointed out, music sequencing is also on the course. And it's fundamental again in today's industry. Everybody can have a studio on their phone practically, and definitely on a laptop at home. The use of large commercial studios is still there, but is definitely limited over the years, as in our new times of developing your career. You will find that writing and producing your own music is you're very much capable of doing that at home, and something that is kind of integral of being a working musician nowadays. In these lockdown periods, again, people are still working. Lots of gigs have stopped, but people are still working. People are still sharing music with each other, sharing stems from recordings with each other, to try and to keep music going, to keep the business of music writing going. So that's an overview for the National Diploma in Extended Diploma in Music. So this is a testimony from Rory, who is actually is now in his second year of study with us. He's a great student. He's a singer and multi-instrumentalist, keys, guitar, and singer, as I say. Do I need to read you what he says? Well, yeah, why not? I enrolled at SERC after studying A-levels that didn't suit the career route that I wanted to take. Best thing about my course is that I can now focus on one core subject that I'm passionate about. I've made new friends, and the tutors are knowledgeable and push you to reach your full potential. There are opportunities to perform at SERC fairs as an annual Christmas showcase, which has improved my confidence performing to the crowds. On completion of my course, I'm enrolling on the Pearson's BTEC HND in music offered at SERC. The thing with Rory, what he has shown is that it's not just what he's studying, it's also the musicians he has worked with over the period of the time he studied with us. And I believe he's working with these musicians outside of college, performing when we could perform in gigs around Belfast and further afield. He's also writing a lot of music, and at present we're working on the HND album, and he's a very strong character in the compositional side for the HND album recording, which we hope to have finished in February. So yeah, he's a classic example of someone who started on level 3, so he came in from level 3 and he's worked right the way through 2 years at level 3 and gone on, and will be finishing this year of the HND program. So yeah, and I believe that he is going to go into the second year of studying music performance at Queen's. I think that was one of his ambitions to do. So yeah, so that's Rory. Questions? Are there any questions yet? I'm not sure there are. Maybe we save the questions to the end. I think I've put questions in at the end of each section, but If anyone has any questions, by all means, you can always email the relevant members of staff. All the contact details are on the website. But you can, if you're listening now, you can enter them into the chat, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that are given. So we'll come back to questions in a bit. So the BTEC National, so the BTEC Level 3 National Extended Diploma in Music Production. This is only in the SERC campus, and the coordinator is Brian Robinson. So here's a little synopsis that Brian's put in about the course for himself. The BTEC is the Extended Diploma in Music Production is designed to give students, and my lights have just gone off in the room, the practical skills and knowledge they will need to succeed in the challenging and competitive world of music. This program focuses on the creative use of music software and technologies, providing a range of practical skills in studio engineering, recording, production techniques, live sound engineering, and electronic music composition. Practical workshops delivered by specialist tutors creatively explore a range of new technologies, including Pro Tools, Ableton Live Suite, Native Instruments, Sibelius, the Avid S6, which you have a lovely picture to the right of, the Focusrite RedNet system, which we use in all of our studios, and the Avid S3L is our live desk from the theatre we have downstairs. Again, similarly to the performance the unit, it's about communication, about the way that in today's modern music production that you can communicate with the musicians and creatively with your fellow creators, whether that be again for online or for live sound or for creation of apps, or whatever it might be. Wherever we encounter music, we endeavour to kind of to give the students an overview of these subject areas. Ableton Live being a big one at the minute, really, and being an environment that I think is an area that we're teaching more and more of, which is a very nice environment, as well as Pro Tools for the studio. Again, on the right here we have a picture of the one of our smaller MIDI suites. So downstairs we have, as well as all our rehearsal rooms in the main theatre, which all the performers use, we also have state-of-the-art recording studios. There's 2 recording studios, 2 MIDI suites, which is the smaller studios, which you can still tie up to the main studios if you wanted to. The great thing about some of the technologies that we have here with the RedNet system is that we can actually connect any part of the building to any of the studios. You could potentially have an orchestra performing upstairs in the theatre, and we could be recording them downstairs in the main studio, and multiple rooms running all at the same time. So some of the subjects then that we would cover for the music technology program would be studio recording. So that's music production, microphone technique, the practicality of communicating with a band, approaches to recording. List goes on. So the physical aspect of how a studio would work, signal flow, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Creating music material through production. So the creative aspect of using technology to make compositions, to make musical compositions. Again, that's where Ableton Live would come in. This could be for sound design, for film, adverts, etc., etc. The work goes on. Music technology in live events. How you might work in theatre, how you might work with sound on stage. Again, this is about communicating with theatre designers, with stage set designers, with production designers, producing your personal project, how you creatively might work, whether that be as a solo artist, whether that be in a band, producing a collaborative project. So how you collaborate with other people, which again runs through all of our courses, not just production but performance as well. How we work together in the sense of technology and music, or how we work together with the theatre and performing arts, or art and photography. We have these projects that run right the way through all of our courses, where we might put down the syllabus and work on how we might do sound for a multidiscipline production, which, as I say, could involve performing arts, dance, music technology, etc., etc. Self-promoting a network. This basic music business, as I said, for the performers. No one's going to necessarily offer you a job, maybe slightly more in the production aspect, but again, it's entrepreneurial skills of how you promote and develop your own plan of career, which is the last one, planning a career in the music industry. You have to have the motivation and the creative outlook to be able to see what you can offer to the industry and to other musical projects that are working around you, and be able to sell yourself in that way. And that's entrepreneurial skills, really. It's kind of fundamental to a lot of creative business environments that we all have to work in. So yeah, the 2-year national level 3 national extended diploma in music production. Testimony by a second-year student, Rory, who I teach acoustics to at the minute. Rory, he's put here, I was better off at SERC because my school didn't offer A-levels that interest me. At the college I'm studying what I want a career in, surrounded by like-minded individuals in a stylish modern music studios and recording spaces. I enjoy using the equipment and having the opportunity to record and create music. Once I finish my course at SERC, I'd love to travel with my music and study abroad. Great student. He works as a DJ as well as writing his own productions. Again, a lot of the music production that he's been learning isn't specific to any particular genre of dance music or any particular genre of music. It's an overview, and that gives him the skill to apply it to his own needs. And again, I think right the way through a lot of our courses, that's a really, really important aspect of it. Again, questions and answers. Oh, they keep coming. Maybe again, fill it in. If you have a question, fill in the question. If you're watching this back at a later date, you can always email the relevant staff. All contact details will be on the SERC website. Yeah. So, or leave it in the chat if you're watching this live. So, BTEC level 1, level 2 certificate in music. It's actually in music business skills, so it covers performance, it covers some recording. It's a grounding in all of the aspects that you do in the other units, really. It's for students who maybe don't have enough experience to do a level 3, but who wants to get a flavour of what the other courses are about. Very hands-on, very much an environment for students to develop both as individuals and musically. And it's both given here in Bangor, which I look after, and in Lisbon by Andy Lavery, who coordinates the course there. So the new spec for the level 3 certificate in music industry skills is a 1-year program. The new spec is, they've simplified it. They have 4 main subject areas, and I'll take you through each of these areas. So exploring music has 3 main areas to it. It has a performance. So in your bands, as an instrumentalist, you will explore how you create music, and you will explore different styles of music through performing it, and through learning cover songs, and through writing your own material. You also learn band skills, how to communicate in an ensemble, how to present this on stage in a live environment, and how to work in a studio as a performer. How do you perform in studio, in a recording studio? It has a certain discipline which is very, very different from being on stage. Also within exploring music, you do music theory, you do a grounding in music theory, which also offers you composition, the start of songwriting and composition, and how music theory can lead and connect with performance. How you can use music theory to communicate different styles of music and learn different styles of music. The other aspect then is the technology aspect of it, and so you do some music sequencing and recording. So I take the students through the recording studio and how they work as an engineer, and an overview of being an engineer, and often the students are recording each other and their bands. They also do MIDI composition and sequencing composition, where they can take some of the samples that they've made of some of the audio that they've taken into the studio, and they can make new compositions and remixes out of it. And that's the kind of whole unit, and that runs right the way through the year. Professional development is in our first semester, and it's music business. We have just done Sounds of Belfast online this year, where we've looked at all the aspects of how do you make a living in the music industry in today's modern environment. Some of the same ways that have always been there by selling music, but how you collect that money and how you promote it maybe have changed considerably. You also do case studies in professional development of artists, or not necessarily artists, but also producers and creatives that you might be interested in, and look at their career and how it reflects onto your own career and where you're at the present, and what areas that you have of strength, what areas you have that maybe need development. And at the minute, that's myself and Peter are running that in both here in Bangor and in Lisbon. Music performance is a second semester unit, and again it's like exploring music, but it looks at even more detail about how we communicate as a band, how we can learn music, and how we perform music, and how you communicate to an audience as well, how that develops. It's all very well being on stage, but unless you can communicate that to the actual live audience, it doesn't go any further. So it's an actual skill that you can learn to do. Music project is the final project that students will do, where they organise, write, perform, record a project that we will have hopefully do a gig at the end of the year. But also in the recordings we'll be releasing online on Bandcamp, and we'll be doing the promotional through social media for the Level 2 record label, which is the kind of final project that the students do. All of these subject areas link and go into the performance, Level 3 performance, as I was discussing before, which then link and go in to the HND. So performance activities for the Level 2, regular performances in the theatre. In essence, we do 2 or 3 big performances, but when the theatre was open and running in its normal capacity, which hopefully we'll be back to next year. So yeah, we're using the main theatre space, which is 170 seat, don't quote me, 170 seater theatre space, which is an amazing resource to have for the students to learn in. Regular activity workshops. So we run these workshops through the whole of the first semester, where students are learning their instrument, where they are learning. We have industry talks. It's all been online this year, but in the past we've had people coming in, doing talks on music industry and on practical performance skills. We have end of year festival where we showcase the areas of the department. This isn't just for the Level 2, really. This runs right the way through all of our music environments. Music Skills NI, which is an annual competition. I like to call it competition in a small c, because it's more about the different colleges across further education in Northern Ireland meeting each other and realizing that it's not just about the course that you're on or the students in one college. It's actually they are the next generation, or you are the next generation of performers that will be taking the music industry further, and that's the kind of premise of the whole of the department, really. So Music Skills, unfortunately it's not running this year, but we are planning next year to be hosting Music Skills for all 6 colleges to come here, and the finals will be in the main theatre downstairs as well as broadcast online. So yeah, there are lots of opportunities for all of our students to perform. There are opportunities also given to the students to develop performances for themselves. So if any student has an idea of a performance they want to put on, we would encourage that wholeheartedly for them to communicate, and we would facilitate that right the way through. So questions and answers yet again. If you have any questions and you're watching this live, please put them in the chat and I will do my best to answer them. If you're watching this later on, you can always email questions to members of staff. All contact details, as I said before, are on the website. So the last few slides I have here are really to show progression of the courses that we run. So level 2 is our introductory course, which is, I guess, GCSE equivalent, if you want to give it a comparison in that way. It's a real kind of covering all the bases to give the students a grounding in performance and technology. From there, the students can make a decision of whether they want to go down a technology path or a performance path, as long as they're successful at level 2. It also gives them as the equivalent to 3 GCSEs, I believe. So with that and their essential skills, or any GCSEs they have from before, they can then go into the level 3 program of either performance or production. Of course, if you're successful at level 3, which is equivalent to 3 A levels, you can then apply to do the HND program. HND is split into level 4, 5 in the first year and level 5 and 6 in the second year. Yeah, so sometimes our level 3 students decide to study elsewhere and they can go on to the first year of a degree program, either at Queen's or anywhere in the UK. Many of our students carry on studying with us and go on to the HND. After the final year of your HND, we do have an articulation agreement with Queen's. We also are in discussion with the Ulster University on their new music program, which is starting, as well as Dundalk University of down south. We have had discussions with them about going into the second year of study on those courses, and a lot of degree programs will let HND students come into the second year of a study, even if we don't have an articulation agreement with those particular establishments. So that gives you an overview of the course description. So it just leaves me to say thanks for tuning in. Any questions? Website at the bottom. Email the relevant tutors. All information is on the site. Lastly, then the only last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out of this, and hopefully I can just play you. I'll play you out some of the performers from the music skills competition from last year, going back to when we could actually perform. And this was, I believe this is the cover band, one of the cover bands, and I'll just give you a blast of this. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll mute this out once it's done. Okay, thanks a million. Here you go.
But you're my darling, my baby, baby, you're the thing I can't resist, yeah. Cause all the love and understanding that you've been given, darling, I can't keep on living. Now, baby, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Mercy, mercy, please. Mercy, mercy. I'm begging on my knees. I want you as a baby.
Okay, thanks for tuning in.